Hey, how's it going? Dave 2D here, and this is a video on the Google Home Mini and the Amazon Echo Dot. So this thing just came out, the Google Home Mini. It's 50 bucks. It's relatively inexpensive, but it's just so much cheaper than its predecessor. That thing was 120 bucks, I think. This is like less than half price, and it looks nice, right? But just because it's new and it looks a heck of a lot nicer than this, it doesn't mean that it's inherently better than this, right? I've been using this quite a bit, the Amazon Echo Dot, and it's a very good product, but depending on what you do and what you don't do, one or the other might be a better fit. So that's what this video is. It's going to talk about what these products are, what they aren't, and I guess kind of a guide as to whether or not any one of these are actually a good purchase for you. So I'm going to focus on three things. First, let's talk about using these things as media controllers. So they're both pretty good as media controllers. This thing, the Google Home, two things kind of bug me about it. It doesn't have an audio jack out. So if you have a pair of speakers that you want to connect it to, like a hard wire, you can't do that. And it also doesn't technically have Bluetooth. Like it does, but you can't just connect it to a Bluetooth enabled speaker. You need to connect a Chromecast audio to some speakers, and then now they can talk wirelessly. And I mean, that's just a bit of a money grab from Google, and they're just basically trying to keep the Chromecast audio product alive, and it's fair, but if you're looking for good audio and just like simple audio with less wires and stuff like that, it's going to cost you a little bit more with this device. With the Amazon Echo Dot, it's got an audio out, so it's just you plug it up and you're good to go. Both of them can be used as speakers. The Google Home Mini is probably a little bit better sounding. It's not like much better because neither of them are very good, but it does sound a little bit cleaner and just a little more depth to the audio. It does have upward firing speakers. I'm not sure if that's making a big difference, whereas the Amazon Echo Dot has downward firing speakers. So when it's on a table, it's just the sound is projected off of the surface. They both handle TV well. This thing needs Chromecast, this thing needs the Fire Stick. They both have their advantages inherently just from the products of Fire Stick versus Chromecast, but they both work. And I wouldn't say that one is like massively better than the other in terms of their video playing capabilities. One thing I have noticed with the Google Home products, and it's not just with the Google Home Mini, it's with all of the Google Home products, you can speak more naturally to them. Whereas the Amazon products, you need to just hit those keywords for it to be able to trigger the command that you're trying to make it do. Hey Google, show me a video on YouTube about Overwatch.
Alright, playing on YouTube about Overwatch videos from YouTube on Office TV.
And because of that difference, I find it easier and just more enjoyable to control my media using Google Home products. The one big advantage with this though, and this probably won't apply to most people, is that if you are an audiobook user or just more particularly Audible, this thing can do like text to speech and it can just read out stories, which is super cool. It's so simple. I feel like this is something that Google Home should be able to do, but it doesn't. I use Audible and I like audiobooks, so yeah.
In a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit.
The next thing I want to talk about is using these devices as an assistant. So either a home assistant or a work assistant or any kind of like voice operated assistant. And both of them are pretty good, but the winner to me is the Google Home product. This thing has just better connectivity for what I use. So everyone's gonna be different. I use a lot of Google services, particularly Google Calendar, and this is excellent for that. Hey Google, what's my calendar like tomorrow?
Tomorrow, there are 3 things on your calendar. The first one is at 12:30 a.m. and its title is Busy Stuff 1.
Google Home can distinguish between different voices. So if you have one device in a household with different people in it, they can ask it with their own voice and it'll react accordingly. So if you have a different calendar from your wife or your family members, it'll just read your calendar out to you and tell you your schedule. And same thing with like making calls. So if you say, or if I said, hey Google, call my mom, it would call my mom. But if my wife said the same thing, call my mom, it would call her mom because our voices are different.
Calling mom, mobile.
Now the Amazon Echo Dot is actually connected to even more services, in particular Microsoft Outlook. So if you're an Outlook user, you gotta go with this thing. It doesn't even work on the Google Home products. When it comes to asking it questions, and this is something that I don't use very frequently. I mean, it's very cool, it's kind of like trivia time, but it's not something that I use regularly. Google Home crushes Echo. It's just not even close. I want to say it's like 1 to 10 in terms of the number of questions that are answered. It's just so much more robust in terms of its knowledge base, and a large part of that comes from the data collection. Google has been collecting data forever, and I feel like it'll be really hard for Amazon to ever catch up in that regard. Hey Google, do you like Siri?
You know Siri? What a small world. Hope she's doing well.
Now, the one assistant type feature that Amazon is just amazing at is shopping because of Amazon's e-commerce power. Right now, it's pretty good. Like if you need to refill something, you can just request it and it shows up in your Amazon cart. But I think the future of Amazon's Echo products are going to revolve entirely around the whole e-commerce thing. And that could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. But I really do think that's the future of Amazon. Now, in terms of using these products as home automation, I gotta be completely honest, I don't love home automation right now because I live in a relatively small condo. It's like a small space. Home automation isn't that important to me. There's like one large living space. All the cool stuff that you can do with home automated stuff just is less appealing in such a small space. But I recently got a house and I've been looking between these two to kind of see which one would be better from home automation. And surprisingly, even though this thing's called Google Home, the Alexa products or the Echo products are just so much better. Just they're able to connect to way more home automation stuff. So if that's your jam, if you're looking for home automation, the Echo products are the way to go. But you can't go wrong with either of them. They're both really inexpensive. If you're looking for something that's aesthetically pleasing, the Google Home Mini looks nice and it's better at answering questions, making phone calls. It's just not great as an audio controller because it lacks connectivity. But the Amazon Echo Dot has a line out, so it might be a little bit cheaper and better for music controls. And it's gonna have better home automation connectivity. So everything I've talked about so far is pertinent to right now in late 2017. And all it takes is Google or Amazon to just tweak a little bit of their software and these things suddenly have new functionality and new features. And you don't have to buy new hardware, right? This is always gonna just have a speaker and a mic and a power source, and it can do all of the stuff that we've talked about, and it can do any future things that Google wants these things to do. Like, it doesn't do very much processing. So yeah, I mean, these are so inexpensive, 50 bucks. You can definitely get into the game of whole home automation or just smart stuff and check it out. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. See you guys next time.